You're about to enjoy an It Takes Three network podcast. There's nothing quite like autumn in New York, but it's not only the leaves that change. Something in the air brings out the true colors in everyone. Hello, and welcome back to Three Gossip Girls, We're good? Yeah. I was going to say a One Tree Hill podcast. This is a Gossip Girl podcast. And I'm Liz.
And I'm Michelle.
And we're back for another episode. Tonight we watched season 2, episode 7, Chuck in Real Life.
Ooh.
Which is a reference from Dan in Real Life. Did you ever see that movie with Steve Carell? I've never seen it, but it was out in this time.
Oh my
maybe
gosh.
A couple years before this. Don't know what it's about. It seemed like a sad-ish movie.
Yeah.
So, fun fact.
Yeah, no, that is a fun fact.
This episode originally aired on October 20th of 2008, directed by Tony Warmby and written by Len K. Rosenfeld. The summary for this episode is Vanessa uses the scandalous picture of Catherine and Marcus to blackmail Blair into being a nicer person. So Blair seeks revenge by enticing Chuck to seduce Vanessa. Eric introduces his new boyfriend Jonathan to Serena and Blair. Lily and Bart throw an extravagant housewarming party and expect their children to make them proud in front of the attending press. But a rebellious Serena is not ready to play by their rules. Meanwhile, Dan and Jenny discover a big secret that Nate has been keeping from his friends.
Ooh.
Oh, baby.
Oh, man.
This is a weird episode.
I just felt like I emoted a lot during commentary.
Yeah.
And I felt lots of things, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah. I felt lots of mixed, weird emotions. I was like, I don't know if I should be feeling this.
Yeah.
I'm like excited in this part, but like weirded out in this part.
Laughing at this part.
Definite laughing because Chuck and Blair scenes, very funny.
Well,
you guys you can't disagree. It is very soap opera.
Yeah. Before
we get into the episode, this week I prepared an interesting cocktail to go with an interesting episode.
Mm-hmm.
I was inspired. When we started this Glassful of Gossip segment, I went in for all of the episodes and I kind of just like made notes of what I thought would go with it, going based off the summary. And so in this episode, it's kind of a bond of families, the Vanderwoodsons and the Basses. So I originally wanted to do like a mixed drink that was weird combinations because they are a similar family, but really the dynamic is not the same. Chuck and Bart have a very estranged relationship. It's funny though, because in this episode you do learn how far from close Lily and her children are too. So, with all that being said, I saw a recipe that was called a cold brew Mai Tai. So, my spin without making it alcoholic tonight was I chose cold brew. Mm-hmm. We did almond milk. Almond milk was curdled, so we did oat milk.
Ooh. It's spoiled.
And to make it Mai Tai, they suggest doing a low acidic orange juice and a splash of lime. So, I did that and named it Family Tais.
Ooh, it's so good.
Pat myself on the back for that one.
It was so good. And it's like every week, Liz prepares the beverage. I can't wait to hear what the title, how she came up with it, the inspiration behind it. And as she's preparing it, she's like, I don't know, this might taste weird. She's pouring the coffee, the orange juice.
And I'm like, this is weird.
The lime. And I was like, I don't know, because we were talking, like, we've had cold brew with lemonade in it.
Yeah. We went to Coffee Con like 4 or 5 years ago together, and we love coffee, any type of coffee. So I was like, you know what? It can't be bad. It just might be strange.
And different.
And I don't find it to be all that crazy until we're getting down to the end of it now. And it's more acidic, more orangey and limey than it was before. But I don't hate it.
No, it was very refreshing.
Okay, I'm glad that you enjoyed it.
I did.
So I will post the recipe as always. If you guys want to try this at home, please do tag us because it's interesting.
Maybe
it's just a different spin.
I think it would be good for brunch.
Yeah, it would be good for brunch. Refreshing, but also kind of pick me up because it's cold brew.
Right.
It's a lot of caffeine in there. So get to the nitty gritty of this episode. We open up, we're at the Vanderwoodson house. It's autumn in New York City, which is such a good time to be in New York, right?
It's so gorgeous. The leaves changing.
All the leaves are orange and red. Serena comes down in a fantastic outfit and everyone's quiet. Chuck's there, Eric, Lily, and she's like, why is everyone so quiet? Bart comes in.
He's back.
He is back. He's back for the long haul, quote unquote. And Lily mentions that they're having a housewarming event because now that Bart's home, you know, they should have a mixer. And then Eric asks if they can bring friends. And Lily says, of course you can bring friends. No problem. Then Bart says, I'm going to lay down some family guidelines that we should abide by because now that we're a family, we need to have family time. And so Lily and him go into the rules. It's like your curfew is not, you know, you can't stay out past 1. And every Friday night, we're going to have family dinners. And this sends Serena over the edge.
She's triggered.
She's like, wait, I'm sorry. She's never had to have a curfew or rules in her life. And she's not happy about it. So she storms out.
Yeah.
Not good. Meanwhile, we go to the Humphrey loft and Dan sees Vanessa at his house, and she has all these bright yellow flyers. So he questions what is this about? And apparently a bar in Brooklyn who she's friends with the owner, this is going to get teared down and she needs everyone to sign a petition to get this bar to stay open.
And it's a landmark.
It's a landmark,
That's
right?
Big deal.
There's a lot of history in this bar, and the owner is such a nice guy, and she just wants this to stay open. It means a lot to her. So she decides that she's going to go with Dan to school and try and get as many signatures as she possibly can. Jenny says that Eleanor has signed it, and both of her parents have signed it. So, like, some socialites are on there.
They have
already.
backing. Yeah.
Yeah. So they just need much more to keep this open. She then stares at Dan. He's holding this duffel bag, an athletic bag. She's like, what are you doing with that? He says, well, apparently the entire soccer team got mono, and Nate would like me to be, you know, a fill-in for soccer. And I'm just laughing because I'm like, what? Padge?
We're all
No.
laughing. And Vanessa and Jenny are laughing because
they're
what?
like, oh, you in soccer? Never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. But he's gonna try his athletic ways.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Serena and Eric, we have a quick scene. They're walking to school. Serena is going off, venting. This is ridiculous. You know, when it was just the 3 of us, we were fine. And now every time she has a husband, there's always something that gets riled up, and I can't believe that we have to have these like rules. It must be Bart. But Eric says it's, you know, I feel like it's different this time.
And he feels that Bart's really trying to make the family work.
Yeah.
Eric is so level-headed.
He's the most.
I mean, I know he had right? He had some issues and that was okay.
Yeah, but you can see why he had those issues.
No, I know. And it makes total sense. But he's really the voice of reason here. And it's amazing how he's the younger brother.
Right. And he always has to like knock his sister down a few
Calm her
pegs.
down.
Like, you know, Serena, it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Let's just feel it out. And so she hears him. She's like, okay, I'll try.
Like,
maybe
you're
it's
such
not
a
that
good
bad.
brother.
Yeah.
So cute.
And she like pats him
I
on the
know.
head.
I know.
We go to school. Nate is with Dan, and they're talking about how the coach was impressed by Dan's skills at the tryout.
Like complimenting him.
Yeah, which I was shocked at. How can Dan be good at soccer?
Right.
All he does is read. No, I'm kidding. And they run into Chuck at this point, and Chuck doesn't even give Dan the time of day. He approaches Nate and says, like, hey, let's leave whatever happened at Yale behind us. Leave this guy, your friend Padge, in the past. But Nate is not hearing it, and he just blows him off and walks away, which I was surprised.
You were surprised by Nate.
Yeah, he's still angry with Chuck.
Yeah.
But
also now he
good.
has a new buddy.
Now he's got a new friend.
Come on, Padge.
A more like realistic friend for Nate.
Yeah.
Chuck is a high maintenance friend.
Oh, yeah.
So just like how Blair is Serena's high maintenance friend, and it's hard for a semi-normal person like Nate to deal with a person like that.
But also Nate is so into that world of Chuck and Blair and
Yeah.
Serena. So the Padge Vanessa worlds,
He's like, oh, this is
it's
different.
like a breath of fresh air.
It is. I think it is.
Less drama, kind of.
Kind of.
But the drama he gets into, which we will get into, is more of just him feeling insecure, and it's all
100.
being defensive.
Definitely.
About what
'Cause
Nate's
you're
personally
embarrassed
going
and
through. You're
hurt.
embarrassed, yeah.
Yeah. Immediately after that, when Chuck walks away, Blair approaches and mocks him for losing his friend to Dan. Like, what an embarrassment for you. And Chuck reminds her of their history and how they used to, sleep together. And he's sure that that will happen again. Blair is not so sure.
He's like, we're inevitable, Waldorf.
Yeah. And so she dismisses that and says she has to attend to other problems at school, which just so happened to be one of her Blairites wearing Tais' pants.
The minions, and of course Penelope is the head.
Yes, because when Blair is not around, she's like, I take the rule.
She's like second in command.
She is second in command, but she's so much nastier. Not that Blair is not nasty, because she certainly can be, but Penelope is like cutthroat, like
she's
you're
just
a piece
more
of shit.
in your face abrasive, where Blair is more cunning and Blair is more thought out on how she says things, and Penelope's just in your face.
Yeah, she's more like witty, where Penelope's just like, I'm a bitch.
Totally.
Vanessa approaches Blair and she's like, can I have a minute? Blair's like literally 60 seconds you can have. And so Vanessa says, I need help with this. I need signatures. You have the social standards. You can get all these people to sign for me. And Blair doesn't care about this. So then Vanessa blackmails her, which is so out of character for Vanessa at this point that we know of her. So it was hard for me to watch this. I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
Come
because
on, Vanessa.
Vanessa brings up the whole Marcus situation.
Right.
And she's like, we all know you broke up with Marcus, but no one knows why.
Why?
And so she has a picture of Marcus and his stepmom.
Stepmom
Catherine, yeah, making out. And she's like, listen, if you don't help me, I'm going to send this picture and everybody will know.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, blackmail is a bitch. I'm like on your turf now. So Blair's ultimately pissed.
But like the thing is, even if this got out, and I know Blair is so insecure, it just makes the guy look like a dick.
It looks him look worse.
Not
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, I agree.
How would she know? You know what I mean? Like, to me, I'd be like, oh, well, that sucks, Blair. I can't believe that happened to you.
Right. And yeah, like it probably would have been like the talk for a day and then the next day it would have been gone and Blair would have been back on top. It would have been fine.
Yeah.
But whatever. This is how we,
No, I know. Right.
persuade all of beings
All blackmail.
to do the plans. That night, Chuck sees Serena in her bed. She's reading and she's like, where are you going? So Chuck says, those rules don't apply to me. Those rules only apply to you because you're all over the tabloids with Poppy Lifton. And I'm fine. I understand how to keep my workings hush hush. My dad doesn't have to worry about that. He definitely has to worry about you. And also Bart's having these like business executives come to this housewarming party. And so Serena's like, oh, okay. So this is all just to impress them.
It's a whole of a business deal.
It's all a business transaction. He doesn't really care about my well-being or my family's. So she gets pissed. The next scene, Bart comes out of the elevator. Serena's walking down in this hoochie mama dress.
Holy moly.
And she's like, I'm going to go find the paparazzi and I hope they take all these pictures. It's going to be a scandalous night. And Bart just looks at her like, oh.
And she gets in the elevator and she's like, oh my God, I forgot underwear.
I forgot to put on underwear. He's probably mortified. I would be. Never say that in front of my stepdad. That's disgusting.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
We go to the Waldorfs. Chuck visits Blair.
This was his house call.
This was the booty call. Yeah, because he saw Serena. That's where when he had to leave, he said, I have to go. I have a house call. And you're like, ew.
Ew.
Little do we know it's Blair. He goes to Blair's house. She proposes that Chuck takes down Vanessa because Dan took away Nate. Therefore, Chuck should take away Dan's best friend, a.k.a. Vanessa. And she suggests that he seduce her and then destroy her.
Everybody wins.
Everyone wins. So, of course, Chuck is in. He's like, yeah, all right, whatever.
And the other big thing is this is a true challenge because besides Blair, Vanessa loathes Chuck.
She does.
That's-
Not many people like Chuck. And he knows that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a challenge for him, but he's up for the challenge because he's Chuck Bass.
Of course.
And also, he says to Blair, which is disgusting, I'll just pretend that it's you.
Ugh.
Gross.
Gross.
The next day, Serena and Blair are enjoying lunch. They're waiting for Eric. And before Eric and his new beau get there, Serena brings up Chuck. And Blair immediately blushes and smiles. And Serena's like, oh, why are you smiling when I mention Chuck's name? And Blair's like, no reason.
They have such a
Weird, twisted relationship. So weird.
Ugh. Yeah.
Then Eric and Jonathan show up. And he announces this is his new boyfriend.
So
and the
cute.
girls are so excited. Of course, they're going to welcome him with open arms. They get to lunch. They like hug. And they tell the story of how they met.
And they also say you definitely should come to the party.
Yes, you should definitely come. We're allowed to bring friends. So,
And at this
Jonathan's
point,
gonna
Eric's
come.
like, totally.
yes.
Jonathan's definitely coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. We go back to the Humphrey loft. Jenny and Dan
The scene.
are talking about Dan's soccer practice and how he performed that day. And he's like, you should have seen me. I swerved right. I swerved left. And Jenny's just like rolling her eyes. But she says she's glad that he has a buddy, a guy friend, because he doesn't have many of those. And Dan's confused by this remark. And she explains that he literally only hangs out with Vanessa, and he used to hang out with Serena, which I'm like, they were dating, so of course they were hanging out.
Right.
That's
That
not a
doesn't
friend.
count.
Doesn't count. Like, he
Doesn't
literally has just Vanessa. Then Rufus throws in, well, he has Cedric, and Jenny says, well, dolls don't count as friends.
Right.
So Rufus is not disagreeing that Dan doesn't have any guy friends. They're giving him shit. So Dan, to prove them wrong, decides he's going to call Nate, which was so cringe because he's trying to act cool
He's like,
with
"Hey,
his
bro,
lingo.
You want to hook up for some
Want to
soccer?
hook up for some soccer?
And at first, I was like, please tell me this is a fake phone call and he's just trying to
It
prove a point.
It almost, that totally would have worked just as well.
Yeah.
You know? Meanwhile, Vanessa meets up with Horace, who is the guy that owns this bar. And they're so impressed by the turnout because of all the signatures. And she's thinking that it's Blair that got all these signatures. But it just so happens that at this point, the limo arrives and she's like, oh, here they are. And it walks out Chuck. And she's just like, what? Why?
What are you
why
doing here? Disgusting. Ew.
Yeah, so he mentions to her that he plans on buying this bar. She doesn't want to hear anything about it.
Yeah, because he's going to change everything and he's going to take
a
down...
yuppie bar, she said.
Right.
Like a hot lounge type thing. And he says, no, I'm interested. But she doesn't believe it because she says, I know you.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't think you do. And while they're talking, this guy on the street that's waiting in line to get, I guess to get in the bar or whatever the signature is, I don't really know why they were all lined up there, throws his slushie at Chuck. And Chuck is immediately like taken aback, like, oh my God, what just happened to me? So everyone's laughing. He decides he's embarrassed. He's going to get into the limo, but it makes Vanessa hysterical.
Oh, of course.
Because she's like, well, I didn't think your outfit can get any worse. And now it did.
Yeah.
At the Vanderwoodsons, Serena arrives home, confronted by Lily about the night before and her behavior. Serena gets so mad. She's like, he's not my father. I don't have to listen to him with these rules. But Lily says, like, a little structure could benefit you in this family, which is so true.
I know this is a really tough, we were saying this during commentary, it's a really tough situation because we see both sides.
Both sides, 100%. This kid has grown up not with any boundaries, being able to do whatever she pleases, not necessarily being a bad kid, but she's never had a parental figure actually reprimand her. So this is all new territory for her. It's all new territory for Lily being an actual mother figure because as we can see and as they go into, she really has only focused her majority of her time and life around whatever man's there for that time, which is so sad. Then Serena has words against Lily, saying how she was never around, and that hurts Lily deeply.
Of course.
But Serena's still so angry that she says she's not coming to this party, and she storms out. We have a quick scene where Dan is going to, I guess they didn't clarify where they
said they were going to
meet
in the park.
Meet at the park. But
Patch
Dan
thought,
goes to Nate's house.
Yeah, that's where he thought they were meeting.
Maybe his house was on the way from the park, and he's like, oh, I'll just stop there first.
We could walk together.
Right. But not the case, because nobody's there. There is like eviction notices, everything from the state. And so Dan realizes like, oh shit, something's not right here.
It's also completely locked.
It's locked up. But Dan makes his way into the house and notices that there's just a sleeping bag there. And like his Brooks Brothers shirts folded up, thrown on the floor. And that's it.
There's no electricity or anything.
No, the power doesn't come on. It's awful. So Dan
really
puts
sad.
2 and 2 together like, oh my God, Nate has been living here this whole time. Where is his father? Where is his mother? Like there's nobody here.
Yeah.
We go back to the Waldorfs, and Chuck comes to Blair to tell her that the deal is off. Which Blair is like, wait, what? This is not happening. She begs him to reconsider, of course. But he feels like his efforts are not worth the payout of what could happen with this.
Which
so
makes
he's
sense.
out. Yeah, he's like, this is not a good enough deal for me. I'm not going to just torture this girl if there's not more in it for me. So Blair comes back with, there'll be more for you if you win. And like, you get my gist, kind of like, well, I'll make this happen for you, even though I'm repulsed by it, but I'm really not.
Right. This turns me on.
Turns me on, but turns me off, but turns me on. Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she seduces him.
Yeah. So she reassures him that she's going to make this worth his while. And Chuck ultimately agrees to continue to play this game. We go back to the Vanderwoodsons, and Vanessa's there to visit Chuck to kind of tell him that she's gotten paperwork from his lawyers, and she just asks like, is this for real? But Chuck is saying, yeah, it is. And she says, well, okay, well then Horace wants to meet you and make sure that you're legit. So he's like, ultimately, yes, I'll go get dressed. We'll totally do this. So he's in for this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at the Waldorfs, Serena she went over to vent to Blair as Blair is getting ready for the party, which she looks awesome in this dress.
Yes, she does.
And they reminisce about all of Lily's past relationships, all of the Klauses with the K's and the C's.
The German Klaus. The Danish Klaus.
It's hysterical. They're just reminiscing about how pretty much Serena and Eric, A, had to raise themselves, B, were forced to go between the Archibalds and the Vanderwoodsons, time and time again, while also trying to be children.
Yeah.
And Blair knew this, and she's like, well, you guys weren't really, you thought you were keeping it a secret, but obviously it wasn't. This was a very difficult time for you and Eric, which you can tell that there's so much resentment with Serena and Lily and that whole situation. And then as Blair's getting dressed, Serena notices this dress and how fabulous it is.
It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous dress. She says, where did you get that? And Blair answers, oh, it was a gift from Chuck. And Serena's like, when did Chuck buy you a dress? And she answers, well, it was before our trip to Europe, which he didn't go out with her. But so she's wearing this dress on purpose to taunt Chuckaroo.
But also because it makes her happy and excited.
It makes her happy, right? Like, oh, I'm getting in the Chuck world again. This is exciting.
Right.
What can happen with this? We pan to the park, and Nate and Dan have wrapped up their soccer game. Dan's asking him for tips and tricks on how you do that knee thing. And they discuss the housewarming party. Dan had no idea about it, and Nate says, well, he's not going anyway. And so Dan's like, yeah, I'm not, I didn't know anything about it, so I'm not going. Nate mentions that he would have invited him over, but the house is a mess because the house cleaner was off for the week. And
he's covering himself.
Right. He's making an excuse, even though the truth is the house is a mess. There isn't anything in the house.
Right.
And Padge is thinking about this, and he questions where his mom is. And Nate says, well, I think my mom's still in the Hamptons. So I've been telling her I've been living at Chuck's, just so she doesn't worry.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah. And he kind of changes the subject. He excuses himself to go get a drink. And then we have a really quick scene of Chuck going to the bar to meet with Horace. And Horace is so warm and sweet and
so
hugs him,
sweet.
compliments him on his outfit. And they talk about the entire history of this bar and how many socialites actually used to go there. And Chuck just like feels at home. He's like, I really like the vibe here. I'm totally interested. So that was a quick scene. We then go to the loft in Brooklyn, and Jenny is getting a call from Padge where he doesn't know what to do because he knows what he saw and Nate's not owning up to it. But Jenny says, why don't you just invite him over for chili and then we'll kind of persuade him to stay. But don't tell Dad anything because he'll probably want to get involved, which is so Rufus.
Freak out and be like, you need to stay. This isn't okay.
Yeah. So then Dan extends this invite to Nate and Nate, of course, accepts. He's like, well, how do I say no to this invitation? And so they're going to have dinner tonight, which is great. I love this.
No, I do too.
So into this. And chili, like I'm sure Rufus's chili is like,
it's
perfection.
Mm-hmm.
At the Vanderwoodsons, Serena arrives home to find Jonathan there, dropping off some books. And he says, hey, have fun later. And Serena says, well, aren't I going to see you? But Jonathan says, well, I think your stepdad told Eric that it was just for family only. So Serena gets so upset.
She's triggered.
Yeah, she's triggered. And she's like, this is not happening.
Yeah, because this just adds more to her fire of how she's feeling about how this is all his fault.
Yeah. All Bart's fault.
All Bart's fault, yeah.
Yeah. We go back to the bar. Vanessa approaches Chuck saying, are you serious about this? He claims he is. So she apologizes for misjudging him.
I know.
And then he's about to say something, but gets a text from Blair. I wonder what he was going to say.
I think he was going to flat out tell her the deal.
Yeah, he was going to say, like, you know what? This started out with something, but I really, truly, feel something for this bar. But he gets a text from Blair. How's the plan going?
Yeah.
Let me know the details. So he ignores it, but he invites Vanessa to come to the housewarming party. So this should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We go to this party at the Vanderwoodson house, and Lily notices that Serena's actually there, and she's wearing the suit
that had its own seat on the plane
that Bart had purchased for her when he was overseas, which she looks absolutely amazing. Oh my God, I love
a pantsuit
she
so
looks
much.
So good in this. And so when Lily sees her, she gets upset, but Bart immediately walks over to Serena, and he compliments her on the suit, and he's so happy that she's actually there. And Serena says, well, I'm waiting for some friends. It's okay that we bring friends, right? And Bart says, of course, not a problem. So as soon as he's going to walk away, Serena says, well, why did you tell Eric that he couldn't invite Jonathan then? But Bart goes back saying, I didn't say anything of the sort. I just had a conversation with him, and it was Eric's decision not to bring Jonathan. But, Serena's still like, what?
Well, at this point, to be fair, I was almost feeling how Serena was feeling like, yeah right. You told him,
of course,
I don't want this at my party, and so forth.
Right. Because it's very easy to be manipulated especially if you're a teenager. Then it's this person who's your stepdad. He's trying to make your world better, but like if he's persuading you to do something, it's like to Serena, like Eric was going to take his advice.
Yeah.
Little does she know. Later we'll get to it, but it was actually his decision.
It was, yeah.
And meanwhile, at the party, Blair approaches Chuck. She asks for a progress report on what's happening, and he says, well, I'm actually really going to buy the bar. And Blair's like, yeah, but we're still planning on humiliating Vanessa. And he does say yes, but he's distracted when Vanessa walks in the door because she looks so beautiful.
And Blair sees this.
And Blair sees the look and immediately is like, oh no.
I know that look.
Yeah.
That's my look.
That's not happening for me. I'm not into it. We can go back to the Humphreys and sum up this little situation with Nate.
The sweet dinner?
Yeah. They have dinner and they finish. They discuss Nate's home life. Rufus, not knowing, brings up, well, how are you living? Where is your mother? Isn't this upsetting for you? And Nate says, yeah, well, I'm living by myself, but it's my childhood house, so I really don't mind. Like, all of my memories are there.
And it wouldn't be awkward, and it makes sense for a parent to ask these, but Pat
Definitely.
just like, in soccer,
right?
He did this really cool thing with his knees. It's like, dude, you're
he's
so
trying
awkward.
to change the subject because he doesn't want it to come out.
Yeah.
But what would have been so bad if Rufus asked and Nate does actually say, like, hey,
right,
I'm struggling at home. I'm living by myself, but it's okay with me. I mean, obviously, Rufus would have said, like, absolutely not. You're going to stay here. So I guess Dan just didn't want him to pry.
Also, does Anne not know the situation of the house in New York?
I don't think she cares. I mean, I guess she does. I don't know.
She probably knows.
She
and
probably
he was
thinks that he's staying with Chuck,
and he doesn't. She
assumes he's doing okay, but to him, he's like, "Nah, I'm not going to give up my house. That's my home, and that's where I grew up. So I don't want to leave."
Into his
exactly,
old house. Yeah.
To sum up this whole situation, Nate then helps Dan clean up, and they're washing dishes, and Dan reveals that he knows what's going on with Nate, and Nate immediately gets defensive, which I understand.
Yeah, because Nate tries to leave, and he's like, you don't have to go. It's categories. And he's like, no, I gotta go, maybe next time. And then he tries, and then, of course, Patch is like...
He's like, no, I think you should stay because I went to your place, and I noticed that there were, eviction notices and things like that in front of the house, and Nate is like, I can't believe you did that.
He's so embarrassed.
He's like, wait, you broke into my house? Like, this is just not okay. We've only known each other for a short time. We've only been friends for a short time. Like, don't get that serious about it.
Yeah, he's like, we hung out at Yale and we played soccer once. Yeah. Like, calm down.
Like, don't try and save the day.
Yeah.
And he storms out and he leaves.
Yeah.
Later on that night, Rufus and Dan are hanging out. He can tell that Dan is upset about what happened. And Rufus gives him fatherly advice about, even though your friend says they don't need your help, they truly do. Like, don't stop trying to help him. And really, at the end, Dan does find Nate and he brings him home. So
which is so sweet. And
so cute.
Very glad this all worked out.
Yeah, me too.
Because now we know that Nate has a safe place to sleep.
He's in good hands.
At least there's heat. It's getting cold in New York.
That's so true. He's going to be freezing.
Yeah.
We can go back to the party. Bart confronts Chuck. This scene's awful. About buying the bar behind his back and how dare you put this on, Bass Industries and what an embarrassment. Chuck's trying to explain how this is a good investment and not to worry, trust him. Bart says, of course, I can't trust you. I can't trust you to do anything right, and walks away.
You let me down.
You always let me down. And Vanessa overhears this, and she later on then finds Chuck by himself. They talk about this and how she wishes he had a better father and he definitely deserves more than that. But Chuck goes back at her saying, well, a lot of what he said was valid, though.
Yeah.
How sad.
And he has made good investments and he's smart at what he does.
Yeah.
Watching the way that Bart treats Chuck and the way he's treating Serena and Eric is like, I'm so disappointed in the son I have that I am going to try.
I'm going to try and make these kids
work
better. Yeah. It's awful.
It's so bad. And you know what? I just wish we went more into the papers that he gave Lily. We haven't come back to that.
We will.
I know we will. But it's like, has there been we haven't seen any weirdness of that. It's like Lily's totally fine with everything that's been in motion.
Right. So we definitely will get there.
Coming back to
we'll
it.
definitely get back to that. But right now they're trying to put on this facade that they're this, happy-go-lucky family, and they're trying to make it work. But, Chuck is always the black sheep.
Yeah.
Sad.
And what's funny about this whole facade thing is it's not even Bart. It comes off very genuinely from Lily.
It does. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like she's being forced into it. Like, Bart has to make this business deal and show family values. We got to put on a friendly face. Like, Lily's actually into it, which makes me think, like, wait, are you guys happy? I still don't know. Are you just trying to do this because you want a happy family?
And to me, it seems almost like it is easy for Bart to be this way, too.
Agreed.
When he doesn't have to deal with his son. He's like, oh, two kids that aren't my blood they're easy. I'll just, try and figure this out with this woman that I do love, as he said last episode or the episode before. But he does claim to love her. So, they make it work.
Like, it works.
It just works weirdly.
Yeah.
Before Vanessa tries to leave, and Chuck grabs her hand. He says, please don't leave, because he's very vulnerable at this moment. His dad just belittled him in front of everyone, and she understands, though, and so she does stay. But Blair then sees this again. It's not going to happen. It's not going to fly. No. Don't piss off Blair Waldorf. Mm-hmm. In the main room of the house, Eric and Serena are chatting on the couch, and she's like, wait, did you not bring Jonathan? And he says, well, I thought it was actually a better idea for me not to, because I don't think that I'm ready for the entire press to know my business. So Serena's like, well, duh. Valid.
Valid.
Of course. So Eric's like, again, Serena, it's not Bart. Like, Bart's not the bad guy here. And then Serena realizes, yeah, you're actually right. It's Mom. She's the problem. So
this is like a really bad time to realize this, because
of course
a reporter comes like, hey, can we interview you about your family and your family values? And then Serena's
already heated, and she's like, oh, about my family? Let me tell you.
Moments. They want family moments.
What was your favorite moments growing up? And Serena goes into how one of Lily's boyfriends, they wanted a winter wonderland, and it was perfect because the boyfriend at the time snorted coke, and there was coke everywhere. And Lily jumps in, and she's like, ugh. And she like tried to get in there before Serena can get any of the words out. But like, you see Eric too. He's just sitting there. He's like, well, that's the truth. So.
It was on all the shiny surfaces.
It's all on the shiny surfaces. There's nothing I could say about that.
Yeah, I can't deny it.
Yeah, but then in front of everyone, she tells Lily that, she thought that Bart was the problem, but it's really, you've never were around, and I blame you, and just walks away. And Lily's so embarrassed and so hurt. Meanwhile, really quickly, Blair approaches Chuck in the hallway. She tells him, okay, I'm bored. And this is a boring game.
The bet's off.
And the bet's off because I'm bored. There's nothing in this for us. Like, Vanessa's just beneath us. There's no reason to do this. He says, well, why? She's like, he's like, oh, I get it. You're actually don't want to go through with this because you don't want to have to sleep with me.
Yep.
She's like, that's not it. He's like, well, then what is it? And you can tell it's like, because she doesn't want you to like venture into getting to know Vanessa.
Yeah, it's clear.
And I think he's finally catching on at this point, but he asks her like the real reason, but then, she says, forget about it, and walks away. Elsewhere, Lily and Eric are talking. This was cute.
This is a really good scene.
Yeah. She says, Eric, you're always my voice of reason. You always tell me the truth. He says, yeah, I know Serena's timing was really bad, but like everything she said was valid. Sorry, but not sorry.
I know.
It sucks. But he does say, like, you were absent this whole time, and now you're going from like 0 to Brady Bunch, and we just need to find a common ground in between. Like, let's just get back to like knowing each other and being a family. Yeah. So Lily's like, oh, that makes sense. Right. So he suggests like they bond and
go slow.
Yeah. Back at the party still, we have Vanessa going to the coat check, trying to find her bag. She can't find it anywhere. Blair appears with the bag and Vanessa's phone.
And Vanessa, of course, is like, I know you didn't just mistakenly end up with my bag.
Blair's like, of course not. Ew, this is disgusting. Fake leather. But Blair states that she has cleared up all of Vanessa's storage on her phone and deleted all of the pictures that she needed to. And Vanessa's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I deleted all the pictures of Catherine and Marcus, like let their weird situation be weird for them, and now I'm in the clear. You don't have anything on me anymore. And she says, and a matter of fact, you think you're getting to the core of Chuck Bass, but just let you know that this was a game the entire time, and that he really feels nothing for you and never cared about the bar. Chuck comes over. He's like, what are you doing? And Vanessa is obviously upset. Blair says, I told Vanessa about our little plan. So, and it's just, Vanessa's like, of course this is what's happening to me. It's just absolutely awful.
But it also, Vanessa had a really good comeback to Blair.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't stand the fact that Chuck could possibly be a good person when he's
When
not around you.
I
Ooh.
loved when she said that. Blair tells Chuck she's still this chess piece and she still destroyed her. So therefore he can win. And
You won.
You've won tonight and I'll see you an hour in my bedroom. Yeah. The prize will be in Blair's bedroom.
Right.
Meanwhile, Serena is out and about. She needed to get some fresh air, needed to get out of there.
She needs a friend.
She needs a friend. So she decides to go to none other than Nate Archibald's house. But Padge is there because he's looking for Nate, wanting to apologize. And so she asks him to sit with her. They both explain why they're there. Like, I needed a friend. And Dan explains, like, I'm trying to help him. Then Serena says the only person I actually wanted to call is someone who I can't talk to anymore.
AKA you.
Yeah, you. And he says, well, pretend I'm Nate. He pretended he was me. So it's only fair that I pretend that I'm him.
Yeah.
So she goes into everything about the party and what she said to her mom and how she's just so upset with everything and she does feel badly. But then Dan makes a good point saying that maybe because she's trying to be so perfect because she's so far from being that. Serena's like,
she's trying to make up for it now, too.
Which is, it's not too little too late because you can never. You should always try and repatch things with your children at this point. But it's later in life that these kids deserved better.
But really, Lily, I feel, has been doing a really good job.
She's trying her best.
For the year.
Yeah.
You know, she really
Ever since we've seen Lily on this show, she's only just grown.
Yeah, and they have had these conversations before.
They have,
Not as much as in depth, but they have. And then, you know, she's like, I just want the three of us to be back together. Mm-hmm. We worked at that point.
Yeah. Then she apologizes to Padge about their past.
Everything.
He apologizes. And they immediately after, Bart pulls up in the limo. He's ready to take Serena home. Serena says, well, thank you for talking to me. I'm going to hopefully use what you've said and take it home with me. And she's glad that Nate has a friend like Dan.
Yeah.
Because he could really use someone like you. So I thought that was really great.
That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, for these two people that had such a history, then had a really bad fallout. Now they're kind of repatching and working on actually being friends.
Like actual
friends. Like mature friends.
First friend moment of the two of them that we've seen.
Right. A genuine friend moment. Not trying to push anything.
Or the fact that they couldn't talk to each other.
Yeah. Right. We have Chuck. He goes to see Horace at the bar. He already knows that the deal is off because Vanessa called him, and Horace is so pissed that he allowed Chuck to, manipulate him. He had such a good feeling about him, and he was so absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
And Chuck says, but I'm still willing. I want to save this bar. And Horace just says, like, save yourself, kid. Get out of here. I don't need you. But then you see Vanessa come out as Chuck is leaving. She's like, oh, he actually does care. He does really care. Quickly, we go back to the Vanderwoodsons. Bart takes Serena home. They find Lily and Eric to an empty apartment. She said the party was just done after you left. They're eating the sheet cake, which is hysterical.
On the floor.
With forks.
On the coffee table. So cute. Yeah.
Lily apologizes. Serena apologizes. They have sweet moments together. And she says, I'm so sorry. And Serena says, I know, Mom, for what I said. But Lily said, no, for not being a good mother for the first 17 years of your life.
And she owns up to the fact that she's always chosen men over her kids.
Yeah. Come on, Lily.
But so good of her to own up to it.
She did.
Because she could have went back home and Lily could have lost her shit on screen. Like, how dare you embarrass me? But Lily's owning it and she's like, I don't care who knows how we are. And it was just a really good family moment.
Yeah. And she also had that talk with Eric. So she knows she's in the wrong. Both of her kids have said the same thing. So she's like, okay, I realize it now. But I want to fix this. I want to work on it. And then Serena even apologizes to Bart, like, sorry, I misjudged you. And he accepts.
I know. He seems like a really pleasant dude right now.
He seems like he's fine,
He's
good.
Joins them and eats the cake. He's sitting on the floor.
It's cute. It's very sweet. And so like they pan out and the family is eating the cake. My initial thought was, oh, but Chucky's not there.
I know. Well, it just shows you how much, Lily obviously loves Charles.
She loves Charles.
And Serena and Chuck have definitely formed a relationship.
Right.
Eric adores Chuck.
Loves Chuck, looks up to him.
But Bart is just ashamed of him.
It's so sad.
It
So to me, I'm like, wow, they're having such progress, such a nice family moment, but then his son is missing.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
We touched upon that. Rufus sees that Dan brings Nate home and he's there to stay, and he's like, make yourself at home. I love that scene. That was so sweet.
Yeah.
You don't see Dan and Nate apologize to each other, but you just know that like they're on good terms. He comes and he's going to stay. This last scene was quite funny.
A situation?
This situation of...
I feel like we need to paint the picture.
It's a dark room, just candles.
Yeah, and Blair is on the bed in lingerie. She looks
stunning.
Hot.
Sexy beyond sexy. So good.
At the end of the bed, there's a bench with a bottle of champagne.
Over ice,
glass.
of course.
Right. And... as soon as I see this, I just start laughing. I can't help. It's like I'm an 8-year-old watching sex scenes.
It was weird though.
Yeah.
It's definitely the transition of it was funny because Chuck comes in. They barely speak to each other. He takes his jacket off, throws it on the floor. They start making out. But as they're making out, it's this weird slow-mo freeze frame. So we're laughing on commentary. You'll hear us laughing because it just wasn't necessary, I felt, for the moment. These are supposed to be two people that absolutely love each other, but they can't say it to each other. And I feel like it like lessened it. Yeah. That they made it freeze framed and silly. But also, granted, it's not like lovey-dovey scene. This is like a bet. You know?
I know, and it is supposed to be awkward in a sense because she's like, what took you so long? He didn't come in an hour.
Right.
He had to run his little errand.
Right.
And he's like, oh, I'm going to make you wait.
Right.
This is going to take a long time. So right there, it's like Chuck is playing his own game now.
He's already playing the game.
Yeah.
They start making out. Before anything else happens, he says to Blair, I need you to say those 3 little words that you wanted me to say in the beginning of the school year. And she's like, I forget what she says. She's like, are you kidding?
Are you kidding?
Are you kidding? He says, say it. She says, I'll never say those words to you. So he says, so then you'll never have me. And gets up. He starts putting his jacket on. She's like, what are you talking about? He says, I have chased you for too long. Now I need you to chase me. And it's mic drop, and he leaves.
And he's out. And it's like, okay, good for you, Chuck. However, this is just more pent up.
Yeah.
What's the word that I'm trying to...
Sexual tension?
Yeah. It's just this game that they will keep on playing to see who's going to break first. And Blair's going to do everything in her power now to get him to break because she has to win. She has to be on top. And Chuck can just be like, I fucking love this because now she's going to chase me.
Mm-hmm. I have to ask you, though.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are wondering if you have any change of opinion in Chuck from this episode.
No.
Okay.
I don't think I have a change of opinion. I think I'm just learning more about him.
Right.
If that makes
more
sense.
Character development.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm still not like, oh my God, I love him.
It's gonna still take a long time for that.
Because the whole episode, and it did turn out, because if you'll hear me on commentary, like, please, Chuck, don't go to Blair. Like, I don't want you to, I want you to prove your point. And he did.
He did. To an extent. It's not like he owned up to it first. Like, he's making very, very tiny progress.
Yeah.
He could have said to Vanessa, look, I want to help you out. Blair is not happy with what you did. I'm just letting you know now. So,
but he's also a teenage boy.
Who's
in love with
Blair. He loves this cat and mouse chase. So to him, it's like there's so many situations where he could be better, but it's like his little friend down there doesn't allow it.
Right. It controls. Mm-hmm.
But props to him for like not jumping on her in that lingerie because...
he did.
Yeah. Immediately. And then initially he was like, oh, okay. No.
He got her excited. He knew exactly what he was going to do when he got in there.
He's good.
So I give him the credit there. And I guess I don't know, but I'm just assuming that they're endgame. So it's like I'm just waiting to see how this all pans out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you blame Vanessa?
Do I blame her?
Mm-hmm.
For?
for the way that things turned out.
In terms of,
so I don't blame Vanessa, but if she didn't use the words blackmail Blair, she probably wouldn't have been in the situation. Like Blair wouldn't have had to use Chuck to seduce her. I think Vanessa wouldn't even have been a thought in her mind.
I don't blame
this
Vanessa,
day,
because Vanessa has been a pawn with these kids for so long.
She has. So
and
she's like, I'm going to be on your level now.
Right. And especially with the whole Nate thing. I mean, I know Blair tried to solve the problem with Kat. It's just, no, I don't blame Vanessa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take a break and come back with our segments.
Okay. Are you a true crime addict? Do you find yourself talking serial killers and missing persons at parties only to be met with uncomfortable smiles? Well, find your tribe on True Crime Snack Time, a daily podcast that gives you a little true crime snack to chew on. From January 1st to December 31st, you'll find out what happened on this day in true crime. Short, sweet, and chock full of crime. Join me, Allison, on True Crime Snack Time. We're available wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Follow True Crime Snack Time on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Crime Snack Pod. And remember, keep your friends close and your snacks closer.
Welcome back from break. We're going to start with very teeny tiny amount of trivia. I already said one portion is that the movie is, this episode is based off the movie Dan in Real Life. This is Jonathan's first appearance in the series, so he is not on the island.
Yay, I like him.
And this one made me laugh. The episode takes place on a Friday/Saturday.
Oh, thank you, Captain Obvious.
Thanks so much. Music we had in this episode: Take Back the City by Snow Patrol, One Week of Danger by The Virgins, Snowflakes by White Apple Tree, Psychotic Girl by The Black Keys, See Out by Guillemots, and Hard Times by Mildred Anderson. I'm going to go into some questions/comments.
Yes.
Go on Twitter first. We had some sweet messages on there. Roaring Shelly at Shelly 3001. She says, "Hey, 3 Gossip Girls pod. Thanks for finding me. I'm listening to the podcast now, and it's so fun that Michelle is watching for the first time because I am also a Michelle watching for the first time."
Oh, hey, girl.
Chloe at Chloe Harritz asks, "What are your predictions for the future of Chuck and Blair?"
Well, they're endgame.
That's your prediction?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're going to keep going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Finally,
until
Blair will
dead.
give in. And that's a very, very, very loose,
very general, broad prediction. We have at Daika Yodada. Sorry if I butchered that. They say, "Y'all are doing a great job. I'm mostly through the pilot."
Ooh.
They also say, "You're going to kill me for this comment, but I have to. It's kiss on the lips party, not kiss and tell." And Blair, Dan, and Serena start off the show as juniors. But details aside, y'all's discussion is brilliant and engaging. I will binge the whole thing.
Awesome.
So we did keep binging because we do clarify that I kept saying kiss and tell and it was kiss on the lips party, and it was funny. They say, also to make up for my Blairish comment, I will say I'm super impressed with the way you handled the Chuck stuff with everything going on in the media right now, and Michelle's justifiable reaction, but knowing Chuck's incredible evolution, you handled the delicate balance perfectly. Thanks so much for that sweet comment. Roaring Shelley says, "This in-depth discussion on how to spell Padge is much appreciated." So then she did hashtag Padge Bentley.
Oh my God.
So funny.
I still never see him as
I know.
Dan
it's
or
hard.
His actual pen badge. It legitimately takes me time. Pen Badgley.
And it takes me time now too,
well,
because the other day we were
you.
talking about you and I literally said Padge and I was
Bentley.
like, no, that's not his name.
Padge Bentley.
But it is his name.
Yes.
And at Rachel L. Briggs says, "Wait, apparently there's a podcast?"
What?
Yeah, here we are, girl. Thank you for finding us. On Instagram, we have a few messages. One from Caitlin Finorin. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Sorry. "This is my first time being up to date enough to send comments. Eek! I rewatched the episode and here's my takeaway. It's mostly word vomit, so just take and leave as you please.
We'll take it all.
Yes, Chuck has offshore accounts. Like what? You're in high school. But that ascot he was wearing is giving me life. I think I caught a glimpse of S's vag in that red dress. Blair looks like a fucking goddess with those pearls. Dan's whole interaction with Jenny about not having guy friends making him then turn into a wannabe jock with all that lingo had me rolling. Also, I've been watching season 6 and Dan was a lot cuter in season 2.
What?
Apparently.
How though? He's a
Blair,
baby.
yeah, I know. Blair making herself the prize. She just wants to get fucked. Also, who just sits in purple lingerie in their room? Blair is who, and she rocks it. So Dan just finds out Nate is poor and evicted, but then lets the dude buy him a drink. Like, come on, you need to be buying him a drink. #vitamin water. Lily's boobs. Bart sucks balls. Coming from a girl that had a mom that dated many, many men in my upbringing, I see Serena's anger and I feel it, but chicks gotta grow up and stop making scenes. Blair's insecurity is outstanding, and Chuck tries to act all big and bad, but he's really such a little sensitive boy. Okay, but Blair is slaying in those black lace tights and that red getup. Chuck is much stronger than most men. Headbands. I got to 17 and then I lost count. Too many bitches in the background.
17 in this episode?
I did not have that many.
I did not either.
Her quotes that she liked were inevitable, Waldorf.
Yep.
Tights are not pants. Oh, I forgot to put on underwear. Sweet bruh. All right. Love it. Bye. This is funny because I think you'll appreciate that. I still get confused on if every time Gossip Girl speaks, is it a blast? Right? As Blair and Chuck make the Vanessa deal, she speaks about the wager. Like, how does she know? And if it's one of them, they weren't typing, so...
Right! This is so hard, guys!
Yes. She then finishes, oh, and a question for Michelle. Do you think Blair is going to say, I love you? If either of them say it at all, who will say it first and when? This is so fun. Can't wait to hear what y'all have to say. Y'all are great, Caitlin.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you so much,
Love
Caitlin.
your commentary. Yes, the words will be said. It will be Chuck.
It will be Chuck. Okay.
100 freaking... I like, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but I think it will be Chuck.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if this is the same Caitlin, because we did get an email from a Caitlin. She says, this was too long for Instagram. Hi, girls. I listen to the podcast all day long at work. So I originally found y'all while looking for a One Tree Hill podcast. I am an OG tree hiller and it's my all-time favorite show ever. So I've watched it too many times to count. I binged the whole podcast maybe in like 2 months and loved it. Reliving the episodes through new listeners was so much fun. And I remembered every scene y'all were talking about. When I finished the podcast, y'all were maybe just finishing up season 1 of Gossip Girl and I had binge watched Gossip Girl in college on Netflix, so I was like, oh, I like these girls, and I've seen Gossip Girl, so I'll listen to this.
Win-win.
And whoa, how much stuff I had forgotten. I was listening, and every new thing y'all mentioned, I definitely didn't remember. So anyways, long story short, I started Gossip Girl back up again on Netflix so that I could jog my memory, and it gets crazy. So much stuff I had forgotten. It is so good. I am on season 6 and y'all are still on season 2. Having to wait every week for a new episode is torture after binging all of Tree Hill Talk with no waiting. I can't wait for Michelle's reaction. So yeah, I guess I'm just now finding y'all on social media and reaching out because I have had withdrawals between episodes and just wanted to say hi and that y'all are great. A fan, Caitlin.
Thank you, Caitlin. That's so
You have no idea how much
nice.
it means to us. It's so sweet.
Fills up my cup.
On Instagram, Allie_Luna28, her comments are, the parental boundaries were not that bad. My curfew was like 10:30. Am I the only one that thinks it's weird that Vanessa just shows up on campus to a school she doesn't go to?
I also felt that way.
Right?
But again, what we're talking about this week of like, private schools, no campus security.
I guess no campus security. No. Oops, I forgot to put on underwear. The bar storyline was boring, but it made me ship Vanessa and Chuck. Vanuk? Chanessa? Eric is always dropping truth bombs on Lily. Loved it. At this point, how do you all feel about Bart? So we kind of touched upon it before. Michelle's not sure if he's evil or not.
I know, because I really liked his sweet family moments, but he's just so ashamed of Chuck.
Right. So it's
really
like, it's really
sad.
hard. It's
really
a
hard.
toss up
Yeah.
at this point. Thank you, Allie.
Thank you.
Chick, as always, has her thoughts and questions. I love that she says this. This episode was straight out of A Cruel Intentions, at least the Chuck and Blair part. I thought it was sad when Serena just threw it all at Lily, but I think she needed to hear it. I actually like the ending with the four of them eating cake. I also like the scene with Padge and Serena. I don't mind seeing them as friends. I felt bad for Nate, and I see he's embarrassed, but I'm glad that the Pate romance is still good and he went to stay with Padge.
Agreed.
These might be shocking. Don't hate me, but my
Never.
MVP goes to Chuck. I think that even though he almost went through with the bet, he still wants to save that place, and didn't give in to Blair. It would be good to finally see her start looking for him for real if she really wanted to be with him. Speaking of Blair, she was my shittiest. Always want to humiliate someone. Even though Vanessa blackmailed her with the photo, she shouldn't stoop so low. Do you think Chuck was about to tell Vanessa what was going on before his phone went off? Yes, we did.
Yes, we do.
Do you think Chuck will try to apologize to Vanessa, and do you see her accepting his apology?
That's a tough one. Because when he was at the bar and she saw him, the last scene, and he was like, I'm going to do everything I can to try and save this place.
I lost my pen.
Oh,
but yeah, go ahead.
He said, like, I want to do everything I can to try and save this place. And because he felt a connection there.
Yeah.
Gosh, I think Chuck would want to apologize, whether he will, because he also has that pride, that Chuck wall.
Yeah.
But also, I could see him apologizing, making sure Blair sees it to kind of make Blair jealous and try to make Blair bend to him. But I think he also, it's like, oh, let me have my cake and eat it too, because I'm kind of interested in Vanessa. She is cool.
She's totally different than what
so
he's ever
different.
pursued.
But also, hey, like, your buddy was into her.
Right, that too. Kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not really buddies right now.
No, I know.
So,
but I can see that happening. But then it would come off disingenuine. But I think he is genuinely.
I think he just doesn't know
He
what
doesn't.
he thinks. He's
He
a very
doesn't.
lost boy.
Soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
So, thank you to everyone.
Thank you.
As always, for sending us your questions and comments.
Keep sending them.
Absolutely love reading them on the podcast. We'll go into our headbands. I had 6.
Me too.
Yeah, 14.
17?
Or 17. I was obviously not paying attention that
I really
much.
was trying to look in the background. There was that one scene at school at Penelope and the bitches, and I was like, oh my God.
Me too, but I didn't really see many.
That's where like 5 of them came from.
Yeah. Some fashion that you liked?
I actually really loved Lily's red dress at the party.
She looked great in that.
I loved the pantsuit.
Loved the pantsuit. I said before, when she walked down in that like silvery jacket blazer, the first scene
To go to school? Yeah, with the tie.
I loved that on her.
Yeah. I did like Chuck's smoking robe.
Yes,
His
me
smoking
too.
jacket. You know, it's his robe.
Yeah, I liked that one too. I liked Blair's polka dot dress. Do you notice that one? It was like a very quick scene. I think Chuck came to her house.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, oh, she looks cute. But like very summery
Yes.
for it. I had Lily's like cream glasses.
Me too. I loved those.
Those look so good on her.
So good.
So fashion forward.
She would really rock a clear frame.
Yeah, she would. She looks so good in it.
An almost hopeful bomber jacket on
I don't know what
Patch
that
at the
was.
end, but it wasn't a bomber jacket.
It was like a weird just shirt.
It
a shirt
was
jacket.
like a plaid brown and the normal Vaggie brown off colors. I was like, man, we almost had a fashion moment. Almost.
We had one last week with like the different
The V-neck.
V-neck shirt, but
yeah. And maybe
that
because he
was
was
it.
standing next to Nate, who dressed like Blue's Clues.
yeah.
So
Right, no,
that
maybe he looked better.
right.
I did like Nate's sweatshirt. It had like that different bottom to it. Just looked like a more stylish, like athletic sweatshirt.
Yeah.
I also liked Blair's white robe
Oh, yeah.
at her house, the lace robe. I liked Chuck's maroon suit at the party.
It was velvet, right? Was
I
that a
think it
velvet
was
blazer?
velvet. It looked really good
Yeah.
on him.
Yeah.
And I liked the dress that Blair wore to the party as well, the red with the black like,
Yes.
brocade on the sleeve.
Mhm.
She looked really good in that.
Yeah.
Some quotes. Did you have any more fashion?
No, quotes. Who is watching TV on a TV anymore?
So true.
Which Eric brought up a great point. And we're like, oh my God, it's so relatable.
And last week I posted the article on Patreon about how like this show literally made people watch it, like binge watch it online
Devices.
which I wonder if they did that on purpose.
Maybe.
My quotes: I have less money for me when you die, says Chuck.
Tights are not pants.
Tights are not pants.
And then charity is for diseases and endangered species.
You know Cedric would get dirty, then Dan would have to bathe him.
It's really funny because I forgot who Cedric was. I mean, when at first they said it, and I was like, oh, right. That was so weird when he had her over in the sheets.
Yes. Chuck Bass, I will never say those words to you. Ouch.
Yeah, I'm looking. I knew it would take a miracle. I didn't know it would take Chuck Bass.
Yeah. I chased you for long enough. It's time for you to chase me.
Bam, mic drop.
So true. Mic drop. Anything else?
Is it not even, it's not a quote. It was just a scene of, I don't know why when Rufy was giving good fatherly advice to Padge that they had to eat
the ice pops?
Gross ice pops.
Yeah, Padge's was like bent, melting backwards.
We were like, ew, what are they
I was
eating?
like, what the hell is that? And
it looked like a rubber hot dog.
It looked disgusting. They go into saying they think it's bad, which it looked bad, and how it was
Wasn't it
expired
weird?
Or something. Oh, strange. Like not necessary, but I get it. They're trying to like bond.
No. Like the moment, I'm like, why did we give them ice pops?
Right.
That were
it could have been anything else. You could have had like spoiled
cookies.
milk or something,
or just like eat
or
a good
like
cookie?
just not have something bad.
I don't know why I'm so fixated on this.
It's okay.
Maybe because I'm hungry.
Probably.
I'm like, ugh, fermented ice pop. Okay, let's
Gross.
go ahead. Move on.
We're gonna go into MVP and shittiest. These were difficult, but also I'm happy with my choices. I think these people deserve their titles this week.
Okay.
MVP first.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Eric. You did say during commentary that he was your MVP, and I was immediately already thinking that. So I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect.
I mean, just the moment that he had with his mom about like, Mom, I'm going to give it to you straight.
Right.
Serena pretty much raised me. Everything she said is true. Your ringtone was since you've been gone for you. Yeah.
Awful.
And just how calm he was. Kept Serena calm. He's like, listen, it's not Bart. Bart's really trying here to make the family work.
Right. He calmed Serena down and made her realize like, hey, it's our mom that's been shitty, not this man. And we have to kind of just, be a family and abide by the rules. They're not so bad.
And I believe him.
Yeah, me too. And I also respect his decision not to bring Jonathan to the party, even though I would love to see him be his true self in front of everyone, but he's just not ready yet. So it's okay. I'm sure Jonathan would understand. But
obviously, I think he did.
I don't know, but he kind of, I don't know. It seemed like Jonathan felt that Bart told Eric he couldn't bring him. So I feel like maybe Eric kind of white lied to Jonathan about it. Because I feel like he would have just, if Eric told him the truth, I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading that, but shittiest.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Blair.
Serena.
Wow.
Okay.
Sully doesn't know what the hell she's doing right now.
She's all over the place. Sully the cat.
Sully the cat.
I think she got a second win. She was just playing with her toy before. She's climbing on everything. Yeah.
Come here.
Those noises you hear are cat trills.
Yes.
Okay. I almost had Blair, but I'm like, I understand why Blair does what Blair pretty much does the same shit every episode. This is what she does. She manipulates. She's insecure.
Yes.
She does these things.
Right. You're used to it.
I'm used to it. But please tell me why you chose Blair.
Well, I mean, I was like, ugh. Again, don't blame Vanessa, but once Blair hears that I'm going to blackmail you, I'm going to manipulate you, she's like, I need to get the upper hand. And it's like, it's annoying already. It's like, just be different.
That's right.
I'm wanting so much for you because in the beginning of the show, even though she's evil, you still love her wit and her banter and like how clever she is. But at this point, I'm like, girl, you're just too desperate. It's old and tired for me.
That's what it is.
Serena, on the other hand, I felt like her actions were justified because it's very realistic to see a child that doesn't have a good upbringing. They've pretty much raised themselves. They need parental figures in that very, very crucial part of their lives, being teenagers. So she's like, I'm resentful. I, hated the way I grew up, and you chose your boyfriends over us. So I felt like her actions were justified. Of course, they weren't great timing because it happened to have embarrassed everyone at the party. But I get why you would put her as shitty.
Yeah, I'm not happy with it.
No.
I felt like, and I said it off air, I'm like, I'm having trouble picking my shittiest because I understand why everyone is acting the way they're acting.
Right.
I think when it comes down to picking shittiest, it's like who annoyed me more.
Yes.
Even though that I understand both.
So Serena annoyed you more.
A little bit, yeah, because of her, I don't know, just her lashing out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I get it. I get Blair too, but the Blair thing is kind of tired to me.
It's tired.
I'm like, here we go again. You're just this is what you do. But Serena, with acting out at the party, I'm like, it was uncalled for.
Right.
She didn't have to flip out to the publicist and the reporter. And again, I understand it's like trying to put a wild animal in a cage when they've never been caged before.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You got to go slow.
Yeah.
I also almost wanted to pick Lily as my MVP because I like how she came around and owned up to it, and she could have reacted way worse.
Right. She could have been much more.
But she legitimately feels bad and is trying. She's trying.
She is.
And she's been trying since they've had the talk with her.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Serena just, I don't know. And it's funny because, this past weekend, we were at your sister's bachelorette.
Yes.
Who's our guest next week is Shanna.
My sister and her fiance are our guests next week. So spoiler. But definitely send us questions and comments for that because it'll be fun.
Yeah, but it was fun because I was having Gossip Girl talk with her and her best friend. And they were saying, who's your favorite? Who's your favorite? I'm like, I don't have a favorite. We are now into season 2. I still don't have a favorite on this show. It's a
I
struggle.
can say that Jenny's probably your favorite at this moment just because you've picked her so many times for being
I know.
MVP.
And even that is
but you're not happy with it.
I'm not happy with it. And they were saying, well, with this show, you're going to love characters. You're going to hate characters. You're going to love them again. And then you're going to hate them again.
It happens every season. You have a character you hate. The next season, you'll love them. Then it will switch. It truly, definitely with this show, I've noticed that. And a lot of people have that to say about it.
It's very interesting.
They changed your perspective on people every season.
Yeah.
So it does, you'll love this person and then you'll be like, wait, that was shitty. Now next season, you're like, ugh, I can't stand this person. So it does happen. And I'm interested to see how
Me too.
the flow of every character you'll feel. Actually, at this moment in time, I don't have a favorite either. I can recognize and know what's happening and what's going to come. So that's why I feel certain ways about people that you don't necessarily feel yet, which is fine.
Well, yeah.
AKA Chuck Bass.
No, I know. We're waiting for this glow up.
And I dare me say it, but you may never have the glow up with him. It might just not happen for you. You might just say hey, this is just not enough to redeem this character for me. And that's totally cool. I might feel that way again. I mean, not feel that same way that I did in the past. So I don't have a favorite right now.
He would have to be visited by the 3 ghosts of Christmas past
and show him how to be a better person.
And wake up the next morning and,
there's a lot of growth to come. I mean, obviously there's 6 seasons of this show. So there's a lot to develop.
It's just weird. I feel like I'm not rooting for anybody.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But that's so weird.
I mean, I am rooting for Chuck to be a better person.
Oh, okay.
Because you can tell very, very, very minimally that he has that capability in him. So to me, it's very predictable to say hey, he's definitely going to change.
Well, I mean, as we're watching the episode, obviously I was screaming hey, don't do that. I want to see it, but I need to consistently see it.
Right. And
which is,
you're not yet, and that's
not yet, and that's okay. But then they were also saying everybody loves to ask who do you think Gossip Girl is?
Yeah.
Who do you think Gossip Girl is? And I'm like, it is really damn hard to pick who Gossip Girl is.
So hard.
And then they were saying how the person they thought it wasn't, and it actually doesn't really make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that really just messes with your mind where you're trying to pick who Gossip Girl is every single week.
Right.
I appreciated the talk, and I was like, oh, you got my wheels turning. But to be honest with you, I'm still back at square one.
Of course you are.
It really means nothing.
And then to them, I turned around and I was like, enough talking, because I don't want you to allude to anything else.
And they didn't.
No, they didn't. They didn't. But it's like you keep exhausting who do you think Gossip Girl is. And even as the audience, like I've said in the past, at this point, you're not really supposed to be predicting if anyone is Gossip Girl. It's just this blog that's out there. So we weren't thinking about that at this time. So for you to have to think about it, it's really hard.
It is really hard.
And I feel for you.
Well, thank you.
But I still want you to predict who you think Gossip Girl
I
is.
know.
Before that, though,
Yeah.
we'll do Patron of the Week.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you the title and we'll finish and close out the episode.
Okay.
It's Patron of the Week.
Patron of the Week.
It's Patron of the Week. Who will it be?
It's Patron of the Week.
Patron of the Week this week. I have announced it on Let's Talk OC on Monday, but this week our Patron of the Week is our loyal Logan.
Logan.
She had a wonderful birthday last week, and we wish you all the best. She has been catching up on all of our podcasts, and she's been sending us, little messages and liking all of our posts on Patreon. And she's like, I'm getting there, girls. And she's taking our quizzes. So it's been fun. And we're so happy to have her for these past few years. She's been with us for a very long time. And we love and appreciate all your support. So thank you for being loyal, Logan.
You're the best.
The title.
Yes.
For next week. And like I said, we do have 2 guests. Please send us as much commentary as you feel is necessary. This is going to be a fun episode. I think it's funny because there's a character that comes in that's also on this season of OC. So I think it's really funny that our worlds are going to collide.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. But the title is called Pret a Poor J. She's writing down.
So this is a Jenny episode.
It's a Jenny episode.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that prediction. I will confirm that's a very hot prediction.
Okay, so this new character who's coming, I'm pretty sure I know who this is.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't think of the actress's name right now because I'm an awful
Male or female?
female.
Okay.
Caitlin Cooper.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yay.
That might be a spoiler.
Willa Ford is her name.
Willa Ford,
Yes.
thank you so much. That might be a spoiler for OC peeps, but you know what?
Well,
hey, listen.
okay.
Whatever.
They don't. Well, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, I just said it. Spoiler, it's going to come. Yeah, okay, so maybe this is someone who is hired to work with Jenny at Waldorf Design.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what the name of the company is?
Yeah, Waldorf Designs. I'm
Or
pretty
for
sure that's what
Eleanor.
it's called. Mm-hmm.
And wait a minute. She would be young. Wait, this is 2008. So this is a year after OC ended. Okay, so she's still young. No,
Yeah,
for some
she's
reason
still-
I got this quick thought of like, oh, maybe she's the tutor. Because Jenny's being homeschooled.
Okay.
But maybe she's homeschooling, like Rufy's giving her what she needs to do and she's taking care of it. But let's just scratch that idea. I think she's either a new hire or a new intern.
Okay.
She's going to have an attitude. Jenny's going to have to deal with it. But Jenny maybe will be like, oh my God, I want to hang with her. So then this is where Jenny's going to get bad. Because I'm waiting. Here's another thing. It's like, okay. Chuck gets good, Jenny gets bad, and Vanessa's the worst.
Right.
And I'm sitting over here, I'm like, Vanessa's actually the best. Jenny's pretty great, and Chuck still sucks. So it's like,
I know.
very hard.
But also, I don't even want you to take those things into consideration, even though I know you've been hearing them over and over and over again, because let you have your own fucking opinion.
Well, clearly I do.
I know you do. And people like that because
No, I know.
it's different.
Because when people come at me, I'm like, well, no, actually.
Let me tell you why.
I said it to your sister and Courtney. I was like, well,
Right.
actually, I really like Vanessa. And they're like, well, and Shanna's this funny.
My sister hates Vanessa.
I
with the
know.
Burningest burn passion.
She did this movement with her hand like you're on a roller coaster and you think things are good with Jenny
Yeah.
and then it's just going to go down. And I'm like, is it though? Because everyone keeps saying that. And how could Jenny get into trouble? Because she's homeschooled and she's doing some fashion things. So
Right.
maybe this character,
Stirs up the
Lucy.
pot. Lucy. Okay.
Lucy comes in and is going to stir some shit, and she's a new hire. Or maybe she's a model. No, maybe definitely works for the company.
Okay.
And she's a bad influence.
Bad influence on Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
Great predictions.
Am I
Not giving you anything.
warm, hot, tepid,
You're warm.
warm? Cool.
You're pretty warm.
Okay.
So, with that information, everything that you've seen this episode and prior, who do you predict is Gossip Girl, working for Gossip Girl, tipping off Gossip Girl, any and all of the above, just so you have a little something for the peeps? Penelope.
She's my... I know, guys. I know you're like, oh, really, Michelle? Like, what a cop-out.
But she's a bitch.
I mean, I could always go back to, it's Kristen Bell.
It is Kristen Bell.
Bell's going to show up and be like, surprise, it's me. Obviously, she wouldn't be Kristen Bell. It would
be someone else.
someone that Kristen Bell is playing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Penelope. Penelope's just awful. Yelling at that girl, making her cry.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a really good twist if it was like Nelly Yuki.
Love Nelly Yuki.
Getting revenge.
She's like, everyone thought I was a nice girl.
Yeah. And that when
But
you
I'm
see her, like,
not.
we zoom out and she's on her computer with her glasses and like.
I love.
Yeah. That would be a really, really,
That would be a good twist.
good twist.
I think so too.
If you want, you could put like Penelope, but also hopeful that it's Nelly Yuki.
Okay.
Like maybe I should start putting who I hope it is
Okay.
instead of who I think it
Sure.
is.
Let's do that.
Nelly Yuki. I can't make it an adult. That's really sad if adults did this.
It would be sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dorota knows everything.
Pathetic.
She could be Gossip Girl.
She's totally could be Gossip Girl. But she's so nice.
Hey, let me.
She loves Blair.
Oh, I just had like a weird. It's like the narrator is Kristen Bell.
That's the voice.
That's
yes.
the voice, but it's not actually. See, here's what's weird. Okay, so if Gossip Girl's an actual person, and then we meet them, and they have a different voice, isn't that confusing for the audience?
You mean the tone of voice?
No, like the voice. Like, you know how there's like a narrator?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
And then you meet them.
the way that they reveal this person.
Oh my God,
it's
is it
not
like
confusing.
a weird, they manipulate their voice so it's into a machine?
Yeah.
I'm really getting into it.
That's great.
No, because it's like the only person you're hearing is us. So you can get really into this weird thought.
I love where your head's
No, I
at.
just lost all of our listeners. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Guys, if you're still here, let us know. If you get to the end of the episode, just DM us a little poop emoji
Yeah.
just to say, I made it.
Made it to that shit
That shitty
statement,
part.
Michelle.
No, I'm
Statement.
kidding. It wasn't shitty. I love where your head's at. You need to make these predictions to make it make sense to you.
It
So
sounds like I'm crazy though.
I don't think you sound crazy.
Okay.
It's like a true crime. You know, someone manipulates their voice and you're like, oh my God, it's been this person this entire time. It's crazy.
Is it Eric?
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I think I'm gonna trick Liz by being like, oh
No,
my God, let's be
I
relatable
would-
and talk as girlfriends.
I would
Like,
be so devastated if I slipped up and said that to you, at least in season 2.
hey, if for some, and I'm not saying I have, but if when we as we continue the show, and I find out who Gossip Girl is, should I keep that secret to myself or should I share that with you?
Maybe share it with me.
Okay.
Just so I know that you know. And because then you would be like disingenuous in your reactions of things, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'd still be shocked on how we get there.
You would 100% be like, wait, what? So
I don't know. Don't worry. That hasn't happened. Just like a hypothetical of like, what do I do, Mom? What
Right.
happens if I find
think-
out information? Do I come to you or do I just keep it in?
You should tell me and I will be disappointed, but also people rewatch this show over and over again and are like, how? Now that I know this, how?
Well, that's what Shannon was saying.
Right. So it might be even more fun. You'd be like, wait, let's figure this out because this makes zero fucking sense.
Oh, See, yeah.
So
Okay.
anyway,
Okay.
I digress.
Yeah.
Check us out on social medias. We are 3 Gossip Girl Pod pretty much everywhere. We also have a Gmail account. If you like what you're hearing and you want to give us a little 5-star review on iTunes, that would be super cool. Awesome. You can also leave us reviews other places. I know a lot of you don't have Apple Podcasts, so if you have an Android, you could figure out a way to leave us a review somewhere else. I believe iHeartRadio has reviews on there. If you also want to join our little Patreon family, you get your bonus episodes. You get the episodes without ads, and you can get them early. Fun stuff over there. Our little community. We love each and every one of you guys. Definitely check us out at ittakes3network.com with the number 3. And we will see you guys next week with our guests. Yay!
Shannon Ryan. So exciting.
You know you love us.
XOXO.
Gossip Girls.